Well, Saturday evening, I'm Austin Rooney alongside my broadcasting partner Thomas Zinzarella as the Harwich Mariners are coming off of a 4-1 loss versus the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. And Thomas, what were your thoughts on last night's game?
Well, it was struggling at times, and that's for sure, as we saw. Only scratched off 2 runs the entire game, able to get 1 run across. But I think in order to win this game tonight, their offense needs to come to life. I mean, they haven't scored more than 3 runs in any game all season long. And I think if they want to get back on the winning right side, I think they need to score some more runs, and tonight could be that night.
Mariners looking to snap a 3-game losing streak as they take on the Wareham Gatemen. And you mentioned putting up more runs on the board. Anything else that you look for them to do?
Well, I think they got to continue playing solid defense. I mean, last game only had 1 error. On the base path, too, just try to – they didn't do it last game because obviously they get a lot of base runners on, but I think that they need to fix up on the base paths and try not to run as many outs as we saw multiple times this season.
Now on the mound for the Harwich Mariners tonight is Ty Buckner. And Buckner has had a couple of starts that have been outliers where he hasn't pitched well, but on the whole front, he's been pretty good this season. Yeah,
no, he definitely has. I think, as we said in the pregame show earlier, I think that if you take out some of those starts that were a little rocky, he has good stuff. I mean, I think if he throws with confidence tonight, I think he has a chance at winning tonight.
And on the mound for the Wareham Gatemen is Easton Lucas. What do you look for out of him tonight, Thomas?
Well, Lucas, only 5 starts and 16 appearances this past season. I think if he can get through the lineup the first time, he'll have success. And I mean, if he continues to mow down these hitters as the pitching did yesterday for YD, he'll have a good chance at success. But then again, I think the starting pitching for the Mariners has been very solid this year, so could be another pitcher's duel tonight.
We'll take a break for the national anthem and be back for the first pitch. Hello and welcome back into White House Field. I'm Austin Rooney alongside Thomas and Zarella. We're still a few minutes away from opening pitch. We're going to take a look at the lineups tonight for the Wareham Gatemen. Batting first and playing second base is Oliver Dunn. Batting second and playing center field is Skylar Hunter. Batting third and playing first base, Andrew Vaughn. Batting fourth and playing left field is Bryant Packard. Batting fifth and designated hitting is Parker Phillips. Batting sixth and playing shortstop is Bryson Stott. Batting seventh and playing third base is Luke Roscom. Batting eighth and catching is Guion Martellini. And batting ninth and playing right field is Dominic Clementi. And around the diamond tonight for the Harwich Mariners,
we have Gorski in left, Watson in center, Galland at right, Morris playing short, Gill at third, Thompson at second, Lipsius at first, and Logan Driscoll doing the catching for Ty Buckner.
And we'll step aside for a moment. We'll be back with the first pitch. Welcome back inside White House Field. The anthem is finished. We are all set and ready to go for baseball as the Harwich Mariners are ready to take on the Wareham Gatemen. I'm Austin Rooney alongside Thomas and Zarella, and on the mound for the Harwich Mariners tonight is Ty Buckner.
Yeah, Buckner bodes a 4.81 ERA over this past season. 7-4 win-loss record, 16 appearances and 15 games started, including a complete game. He was actually named Collegiate Baseball Freshman All-American. So we're trying to see tonight if he can continue the hot streak of Mariners starting pitching, as it has been exceptional this year through 4 games. But let's see what Buckner has on hand tonight.
Batting first for the Wareham Gatemen will be Oliver Dunn. He plays second base. Dunn hit .319 at Utah this past season. Also played in the Alaskan Summer League last year. As we're just about ready to go with baseball in Harwich, Massachusetts. Oliver Dunn on the Cape so far, hitting .250, only 8 at-bats. Also has drawn a walk. And Andrew Vaughn, who is the hitter to be feared in this Wareham lineup. We mentioned that he had an on-base percentage of .530 last time these two teams played. He's 7 for 18 on the Cape, also drew a walk, so he's been quite good, along with Packard. And Packard hit over .400 in college this past season. Packard hitting .385 on the Cape, 5 for 13, and he's drawn 5 walks with an on-base percentage over .500. And we're set to go with baseball, as Oliver Dunn steps into the left-hander's batter's box. The pitch from Buckner misses inside, and the count 1 ball and no strikes.
Buckner out of Missouri State. A couple major leaguers there. Brad Siegler played.
A 1-0 pitch clips the outside corner, count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Including Luke Voigt, who's a top catching prospect in the Cardinal system. St. Louis, the hometown of Buckner.
And the 1-1 pitch in there for strike 2, count 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dunn. Dunn taps home plate. Steps back into the batter's box. The 1-2 offering. Breaking ball outside. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oliver Dunn did not play the last time these two teams played in Wareham. 2-2 offering is cut on and fouled down the right field line.
He's having himself quite a summer so far. 2 for 8 with a home run and 2 runs batted in, including 3 runs in just a short term of this summer.
The 2-2 offering. Misses low and the count goes full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It's ironic that Wareham hosted the All-Star game last year at Spillane Field, and now it'll make its way here to White House Field this year.
A payoff pitch. Cut on and miss. Struck him out. A breaking ball gets Oliver Dunn to bite. And there's 1 away in the top half of the first.
Buckner's stuff looking great in that bat. Kind of making his way back a little bit, but full count, just throws a fastball right in there. Got him swinging.
And the 2-hitter, Skylar Hunter, lays down a bunt down the third base line. Fielded by Driscoll. He'll have no play at first. The speedy Skylar Hunter has himself a single with 1 out in the top of the first.
Yeah, only 167 batting average on this season, so he'll take that as a base hit. I mean, that was just a perfectly placed bunt down the third base line. I don't think anybody can do any better than that. 16, as Driscoll turned, and he had no play.
From Cal, Andrew Vaughn.
And here is Andrew Vaughn. We mentioned him a couple of times. The .530 on-base percentage, the 23 home runs, an OPS of 1350. There's not too much you can say that Andrew Vaughn did not do this past year at Cal Berkeley, as the first pitch misses well outside for ball 1.
Yeah, no, that home run total really jumps out at you.
For those of you who are wondering what that correlates to an MLB home run total, they play about 2.5 times as many games in the MLB as they do in college. So think 55-plus home runs as the 1-0 pitch gets by the catcher, Driscoll, and advancing to second base is Skylar Hunter. So the count, 2 balls and no strikes to Andrew Vaughn, who digs his back foot into the right-hander's batter's box. Hunter leads off second. Buckner from the rubber.
Talk about power hitting, including Vaughn. Another guy with 25 home runs for the Arizona State Sun Devils. Spencer Torkelson playing for Chatham this year, so quite a amount of power on the Cape.
2-0 pitch. Breaking ball misses low for ball 3, and you mentioned Torkelson, just a freshman this past year, was not supposed to be a huge power hitter when he went to Arizona State, but he stunned everybody, including the coaching staff, and had arguably the best year in college baseball. 3-0 pitch clips the outside corner, count 3 balls and 1 strike. I think the only other guy you could argue possibly have had a better year is Andrew Vaughn. The two of them very close in their power statistics and their overall hitting statistics, which OPS does quite well, incorporating the slugging percentage and the on-base percentage. The 3-1 offering, cut on and fouled off. And the count goes full at 3-2. Vaughn steps out and steps back into the right-hander's batter's box. Taps home plate twice. Runner on second, 1 out, top of the first inning. A scoreless game from White House Field. 3-2 pitch. Cut on and a high pop-up down the first base side is going to go out of play. So the count remains full at 3-2.
Vaughn went 2 for 5 back on Wednesday night. Back at Wareham against the Mariners. Already has 2 home runs added to his name this summer and only 18 at bats. So,
and a big one opening night when he hit a grand slam in the 9th inning. As Vaughn steps out of the batter's box. Full count, 1 out, top of the 1st inning, as Hunter is off of second base. A payoff pitch. Breaking ball misses a little bit inside and upstairs. And Andrew Vaughn is aboard with a walk. It was awfully close, but Buckner does not get the benefit of the doubt.
yeah, it could have gone either way there. It was almost caught the corner. Driscoll tried to frame it, did a pretty good job of it, but
Number 6.
down to first goes Vaughn.
East Carolina, Bryant Packard.
And the job doesn't get much easier for Ty Buckner as he faces off against Bryant Packard. Packard hit .406 this past season, 7th in the country in that statistic. And the first pitch misses inside for ball 1. And Packard's also been off to a fantastic start on Cape Cod. If you include his walks, he's reached base 10 out of 18 plate appearances.
He's batting .385 with a double and a run driven in so far. As you said before, he's got 5 walks.
The 1-0 pitch on the outside corner, count 1 ball and 1 strike to Bryant Packard. Runners on first and second, 1 out in the top of the 1st inning. Game remains scoreless. A 1-1. Cut on and fouled off his ankle as he walks it off in the count 1-2.
Be a big pitch here if he can retire Packard.
As Packard taps home plate and digs back into the left-hander's batter's box.
Maybe induce a ground ball on the ground to turn 2 to end the inning.
The 1-2 pitch, cut on and driven to deep center field. Watson going back to the track and makes the catch on the run. A fantastic running catch from Zach Watson out in left center field, robbing a base hit from Bryant Packard.
Yeah, Watson made it look easier than actually what it actually is. He had a, right off the bat, he read that perfectly, and he just ran to the spot of where the ball was going to be, and was able to make the catch out there in left center.
Bit of a different result from what happened the first time these two teams met in Wareham, where he misread a fly ball in the top of the 1st inning. As Parker Phillips steps into the right-hander's batter's box, and he's almost as big of a power threat as Andrew Vaughn is. First pitch in there for strike 1, count 0-1. Phillips with 19 home runs at Austin Peay this past season. It's good for 7th in the country in home runs. The 0-1 offering a breaking ball, and a slow chopper over towards short. Morris comes in, fields, throws the first. It's in time. So at the end of the top of the 1st inning, the game is scoreless as the Wareham Gatemen leave 2 on base. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. Welcome back inside White House Field as the Harwich Mariners and the Wareham Gatemen are scoreless in the bottom half of the first inning as we take a look around the diamond.
Yeah, starting in left field, Brian Packard in left, Hunter in center, Clementi in right, Roscom at third, Dunn at second, Vaughn at first, and Stott at short. And doing the catching for Easton Lucas is Martellini.
And now the starting lineup for the Harwich Mariners. Batting first and playing second base is Cam Thompson. Batting second and playing center field is Zach Watson. Batting third and playing shortstop is Tanner Morris. Batting fourth and playing first base is Andre Lipsius. Batting fifth and doing the catching is Logan Driscoll. Batting sixth and playing left field is Matt Gorski. Batting seventh and designated hitting is Ben Norman. Batting eighth and playing third base is Ray Gill. And closing out the order and playing right field is Chris Gallant. So stepping into the left-handers batter's box is Cam Thompson. Thompson hitting .300 so far on the Cape, 3 for 10 with a walk. As he digs his back foot into the right-hander's batter's box, taps home plate once. The pitch from Lucas. Right down the middle for strike one.
Thompson boasting a .364 on-base percentage this year.
0-1 pitch is cut on and missed at a fastball upstairs and out of the zone. Count no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 delivery misses low for ball one. Count 1 and 2. Pretty close pitch from Lucas. Just missed a little bit low. He was looking for strike 3. The 1-2 pitch cut on and driven to deep left field. Headed back is Packard. It's over his head and it's going to two-hop the wall. Rounding first and heading into second base is Cam Thompson as he has himself a leadoff double in the bottom half of the first.
A good piece of hitting there with 2 strikes on him. Pitch a little up from Lucas and he just drives it out into the left field corner. And that's big for the Mariners. They've struggled with their offense. So interesting decision here. Maybe might want to move him over with no outs, especially with the speed on Watson. As Roscom will now get on the grass, especially with Watson's speed. I mean, won't be surprised here if they try to bunt, but Roscom's on the grass, so not exactly sure what they'll do.
You make a good point about moving him over, but I don't think the Mariners are going to be too aggressive on the base paths. They've been thrown out a number of times, either stealing or getting picked off. I could see a bunt, though, or something of that variety as the first pitch misses low and inside to Zach Watson. Watson will be headed to Team USA in a couple of weeks. Watson out of LSU had a very strong year there. Possesses a ton of speed. Thompson stands on second base as Watson digs into the right-hander's batter's box. The 1-0 delivery from Lucas. Swung on and fouled off down the right field side, out of play. Count 1-1.
Watson this season, 2 for 7. 2 walks. 1 for 3 with a walk and a run. Back in Wednesday's loss in Wareham.
The 1-1 pitch. High chopper down the third base line. Just foul. That one was awfully close. Almost clipped the left field line. The third baseman, Roscom, seemingly thought that ball was going to go well foul, but it ended up just being maybe 2 or 3 inches foul on the left field line.
Now, that was a high chopper. It would have been a favorable bounce if he was able to drop fair as Roscom. I don't even know if it would have been way above his head. I don't know what his vertical is, but, I mean, that would have been a favorable bounce for sure.
And it would have been right down the left field line. It would have been a long run for Packard, and Roscom may have had to chase after it. He didn't even flinch. But the count 1-2 nonetheless. No outs, bottom of the first. The 1-2 offering, cut on and driven into left field for a base hit. Mariners will throw the stop sign on at third base. As Cam Thompson stands on third, while Zach Watson has himself a single. Runners on the corners and no outs for the Harwich Mariners in the bottom half of the first.
And this is great news if you're Coach Engler. Seeing back-to-back hits to start off the bottom half of the first inning. I think you're pretty happy if you're the coaching staff, especially the hitting coach.
And after getting 2 hits in 30 at-bats last night, the Mariners have 2 hits in 2 at-bats tonight. So Tanner Morris, the shortstop, digs into the left-hander's batter's box. First pitch runs upstairs and inside, and the count 1-0. Watson on first, Thompson on third. No outs, bottom of the first. Still a scoreless game from White House Field. The 1-0 delivery catches the outside corner, and the count 1-1.
The left-hander on the mound. I don't know if Watson will be off towards the base pass.
And a nice pickoff move over at first base as Watson darts back to the bag. 1 ball and 1 strike on Tanner Morris. The pitch. Cut on and a high chopper over to first. First baseman throws on a second for 1. Back on to first is not in time as Cam Thompson comes in from third to score the run. So a runner on first with 1 out. It's a high chopper over to first. Vaughn moved in, threw over to Stott at second base as they try to turn 2, but Tanner Morris a little bit too quick. He gets a fielder's choice and an RBI as the Harwich Mariners are on top 1-0 in the bottom of the first.
A great piece of base running by Thompson. He made sure that Vaughn was going to throw towards second as he kind of looked back. Thompson was just waiting, hanging around on third. So great base running by Thompson results in a run.
And the first pitch is in the dirt to Andre Lipsius. Lipsius has himself a 4-game hit streak going coming into tonight's game.
Another positive to see Morse beat out the throw at first on the double play.
1-0 pitch is fouled off behind home plate, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner on first base, 1 out in the bottom half of the first inning. The 1-1 pitch. Cut on and fouled off, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lipsius steps out, takes a practice swing, taps on home plate once. The 1-2 offering cut on and missed as Lipsius goes down on strikes, 2 away in the bottom half of the first inning.
Number 21, the catcher from George Mason, Logan Driscoll.
And Logan Driscoll, the catcher, set to step into the right-hander's batter's box. Excuse me, the left-hander's batter's box.
Just only 1 for 8 this year on the Cape.
But he had a fantastic year this past year at George Mason. .347 batting average. Great contact hitter. Also added 4 home runs, but the contact more impressive than the power as the first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Driscoll going without the batting gloves. The 0-1 pitch is cut on and missed at a breaking ball a little bit outside. Count 0-2. Driscoll taps on home plate once. The 0-2 pitch swung on a chopper over to short, fielded by Stott. Throw to first is just in time. Beat him by a half a step. Really close play over at first base. But Stott gets the benefit of the doubt, and after 1 inning of play, it's the Mariners 1 and the Gatemen nothing. We'll be back after this. Welcome back inside White House Field as the Harwich Mariners lead the Wareham Gatemen 1-0 as Bryson Stott steps into the left-hander's batter's box. And the first pitch from Buckner runs low and inside for ball one. And we talked about the talent on this Wareham team, and the six-hitter hit .365 at UNLV this past season as the 1-0 pitch right down the middle for strike one. And he has an OPS near 1,000, and when your six-hitter has those sort of outstanding stats, it shows just how deep you are as the 1-1 pitch is a breaking ball in the lower part of the zone for strike two.
Interesting how Buckner attacks each hitter, as we said before. Wareham a very deep lineup. Buckner attacking right now, though.
1-2 pitch cut on and driven over to first base. First baseman tosses over to the pitcher, Buckner, for the out. Nicely done by Lipsius. Had to move pretty far over. And the covering Buckner gets the first out of the inning.
Buckner's kind of settled in a little bit here after got out of jam a little bit of the first inning, able to work his way through it, though.
The third baseman from Nebraska.
Wow, a walk to Skylar, excuse me, a base hit to Skylar Hunter and a walk to Andrew Vaughn, but was able to work out of it. As the first pitch to the seven-hitter, Luke Roscom misses low for ball one. And the 1-0 offering is cut on and ripped foul down the first base line. Would have been trouble if it was 3 or 4 feet to the left.
Roskin out of Nebraska, still looking for his first Cape League hit, although has a walk and a run this year.
As the 1-1 pitch in there for a strike two. Played in the Northwoods League last year with the Wisconsin Rapid Raptors and hit .352, actually got 100 hits, a rare thing to do in summer league as the 1-2 pitch misses upstairs, count 2-2.
I think they play around almost 70, 75 games down in the Northwoods League, so he's averaging almost more than a hit a game.
2-2 pitch, just missed off the outside corner. Buckner wanted that one, he doesn't get it. From the home plate umpire, John LeBone. Umpires around the diamond, LeBone at behind the plate. Jeff Kinnan at first as the 3-2 pitches swung on and popped up down the third base line, headed towards the Harwich bullpen. Gill on the run. He couldn't make the play as the pitchers went scattering from their seats, trying to make way.
Yeah, they were fleeing for their lives as Gill was trying to go in there and make a catch. We saw Eichhoff yesterday going near the bullpen area, making a spectacular catch down there.
And at third base, the third base umpire is Rob Wilson tonight.
Just makes it more of a difficult job as a third baseman to turn your back and run and maneuver around all the obstacles down there.
3-2 pitch. Ooh, that one just missed again. And Buckner won at least one of them. He gets neither one. And he issues a walk to Luke Roscom.
So John LeBone maybe a little tighter zone so far than
from Boston College,
Joe Caraco had last night. And so far it's shown right there with the one-out walk.
Second walk issued, and both of them had close pitches. There was a breaking ball to Vaughn on a 3-2 delivery that was awfully close. Didn't get the call on that one. He doesn't get the call on either of the final two pitches to Roscom. But the first pitch to Gian Martellini is a breaking ball in the lower part of the zone for strike one. Runner on first, one out. 0-1 pitch, another breaking ball in there for strike two.
Buckner is an avid golfer. This is one of his favorite hobbies. Unfortunately, I asked him if he brought his clubs, and he said unfortunately not. Couldn't take him with the trip, which is
0-2 pitch fouled off and out of play.
Just too bad because we're got a couple golf courses around here, and I've done it in the past. A couple of players as another former intern, so it's always a good time. You learn more about a guy on a golf course than I think anywhere else. So.
Throw over first base as Roscom dives back in there. Played a bit of golf myself, but never really picked it up.
It's a great sport you can play your whole life, that's for sure.
0-2 pitch misses upstairs. Well, that's true.
It's a good business sport. A lot you see on a baseball team, more of the pitchers do it, obviously, not really the hitters. really messes up with your swing unless you're a hockey player. Hockey and golf coincide a lot.
1-2 pitch is fouled off back to the screen. You see it a lot with after the playoffs are over. Players going to go golfing is the general term.
Exactly. Some guys do it in between for the MLB after spring training, or excuse me, before spring training and during it, actually.
A 1-2 pitch, cut on and missed at a pitch in the dirt. Throw down to second as the runner goes, and that's in time. It's a strike him out, throw him out, double play as Roscom went on the pitch in the dirt. At the end of 1.5 innings of play, it's the Mariners 1 and the Gatemen nothing. We were listening to Harwich Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. Welcome back to the bottom half of the second inning as the Harwich Mariners lead the Wareham Gatemen 1-0. From White House Field as the sixth hitter in the Mariners order, Matt Gorski. Set to step up to the plate.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning for the Mariners, the left fielder from Indiana University, number 34, Matt Gorski.
Gorski sets his back foot in the right-hander's batter's box. Awaits the delivery from Lucas.
Saw his teammate Cal Kruger pitching yesterday's loss to YD.
As the first pitch misses outside for ball one.
Pitched pretty well yesterday for the Mariners. 2 innings, 2 scoreless innings.
Kruger, of course, a returner from last year's team. As the 1-0 pitch is cut on and missed at a pitch low. Count 1-1. Kruger had quite a few appearances out of the bullpen last season. Also made a start for the Mariners. As the 1-1 delivery misses low and in the dirt. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 pitch misses upstairs. Count 3 balls and 1 strike. And we mentioned Bryson Stott, the sixth hitter for Wareham, was batting .365 this past season. Well, the sixth hitter for the Mariners, Matt Gorski, hit .363 at Indiana. As the 3-1 delivery is cut on and missed, cut on and fouled off to the backstop. Count 3-2. So Gorski taps home plate once. Stands in the right-hander's batter's box. 3-2 pitch misses upstairs. He draws a walk. Runner on first and nobody out for the Harwich Mariners in the bottom half of the second.
Gorski working his second walk of the young season.
So Ben Norman, the designated hitter, set to step into the left-hander's batter's box as the Mariners hold a 1-0 lead.
So back-to-back innings now, the Mariners have had a leadoff man on, which is always good signs. You get higher chances to score when that leadoff man is on.
And the first pitch is cut on and fouled down the left field line. Count 0-1. Norman steps back into the left-hander's batter's box. Gorski leads off of first. No outs, bottom of the second inning. 0-1 pitch on the outside corner for strike 2. So Norman is the 7-hitter for the Mariners. Batting 8th will be Ray Gill. And Chris Gallen will close out the order. That's who's on deck into the hole for the Mariners. The 0-2 pitch is cut on, the ground ball towards shortstop, ranging to his left. He's not going to have a play. It was a nice job by Stott to stop the ball from going to left field, but once he took it instead of Roscom, it was going to be a really tough play on the backhand. And the Mariners have runners on first and second with nobody out.
Yeah, Stott playing double play depth, so playing more towards the middle. His little dinker into the hole there as Stott was able to stop it from going into the outfield.
And here's Ray Gill, the third baseman out of Miami, as he stands in the right-hander's batter's box. First pitch misses low, count 1-0.
Now, this is always around the time where the Mariners need someone to step up and just deliver a hit and drive in some runs, because they've been in these situations many times before. Always a big inning we look back upon. It's like, what if this happened?
The 1-0 pitch is fouled off by Ray Gill in the count 1-1, and Gill trying to make that not a what if, but get his name in the box score. Specifically, last game versus YD, there was an opportunity in the 5th inning with the bases loaded. An amazing diving play by the shortstop last night as the 1-1 pitch is cut on and missed. Shortstop Waddell, former Mariners player about a week ago, but now with the YD Red Sox, he stole at least 2 runs. Would have kept the inning alive for the Mariners, but instead, that was the final out of the inning. The Mariners end up losing that game 4-1. The 1-2 pitch is cut on and fouled off down the right field side out of play. Runners on first and second, no outs, bottom of the second inning. Mariners lead the Wareham Gatemen 1-0. Gorski on second, Norman on first. The 1-2 pitch misses upstairs and outside, count 2-2. Four of the first 7 hitters for the Harwich Mariners have reached base tonight. Again, the Mariners had a total of 2 hits last night. The 2-2 pitch is swung on, and a high pop-up into shallow left field. The left fielder, Packard, coming on and makes a sliding grab for the first out of the inning. Good communication out in shallow left between Stott and Packard. Packard ended up making the play, but it wasn't easy.
Number 4.
No, that was hung up in the air for a while, so that's why Packard was able to make the catch. He came charging in very hard. Stott turned his back, but again, that's always a tough play for a shortstop to kind of get a pop fly above his way. So Packard obviously, but he's playing a little deep back there, so.
And in steps the 9-hitter, Chris Gallen. Gallen has a lot of speed as he stands in the right-hander's batter's box. First pitch cut on and fouled off, count 0-1. And I spoke to Coach Englert a couple of games ago about putting Gallen at the 9 spot, and he said it's all about getting that speed right before you get to the top of the order, so it's almost like a circular lineup where the 9-hitter, as he flows right back into the top of the order. One out, bottom of the second. Mariners on top 1-0. Runners on first and second. The 0-1 pitch, a breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 2. Gallen kicks around some dirt in the right-hander's batter's box. The 0-2 pitch, swung on, a ground ball over to short, and having trouble fielding that one is Stott, and everybody is safe. Would have had a tough play at first base with the speed of Gallen, but he misplays it. I think he was just thinking a little bit too quickly. I already wanted to get onto his throw before he fielded it, but it's a mistake over at shortstop, and everybody's safe. Bases loaded now with one out.
That's a big play right there. It could have been an inning-ending double play, but instead now there's still one out, and now the bases are loaded.
And it's going to go down as a hit for Chris Gallen. Back to the top of the order with Cam Thompson, who doubled in the bottom half of the first inning. Lefty-lefty matchup. Bases loaded, one out. Mariners looking to take a commanding lead early in the game. First pitch is swung on and lofted foul down the left field line, out of play, and the count, no balls and one strike. Thompson, 4 for 11 on the season. Had a solid start so far on the Cape. The 0-1 pitch misses low, count 1 ball and 1 strike. So it's Gorski on third, Norman on second, and Gallen on first. It was a walk from Gorski, a single from Norman, and a single from Gallen. That's how we've gotten here in the bottom half of the second inning with one out.
38 pitches so far in 1 1/3 innings pitch.
The 1-1 pitch is a high chopper down the first base line, foul and out of play.
Thompson searching for his first RBI in this Cape League season, and this would be a great time to pick it up here.
Runners on first, bases loaded, 1-2 count. One out in the bottom half of the second inning. Mariners on top, 1-0. The pitch misses low and outside, and the count 2-2. Thompson, not a huge home run guy, only had 1 home run this year at Kansas State. The 2-2 offering, cut on and missed. And a big strikeout from Lucas on a fastball upstairs and out of the zone. And in steps the 2-hitter, Zach Watson.
From LSU, Zach Watson.
And that's a massive K for Lucas. And you mentioned the idea of the what-ifs and the Mariners needing to come through with some runs. And now with 2 outs, Mariners are going to need a base hit if they're going to play to run. First pitch is cut on and missed. Count 0-1. I guess there's a couple other ways that a base hit, a walk, an error, but by and large, they're going to have to do something. A sac fly and a fielder's choice are out of play. The 0-1 pitch on the outside corner, count 0-2.
Yeah, because it's so early on right now. I mean, a 1-0 lead. Let's just say it's not going to hold, and this would be a big opportunity to kind of separate yourselves early from the opponent.
0-2 pitch in the dirt, nicely blocked by the catcher Martellini. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Watson digs back into the right-hander's batter's box. The 1-2. Swung on, a high pop-up down the third base line. Third baseman Rosca moves over towards the Harwich bullpen and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. So the Mariners threaten, but strand 3 at the end of 2 innings of play. It's the Mariners 1 and the Geatmen nothing. Welcome back in the top half of the third inning. Mariners 1 and Gateman nothing. Mariners threatened in the bottom half of the second. Looked like they could take a 2 or a 3-run lead, but a nice job by the pitcher Lucas held them to just 1. And the first pitch is in there for strike 1 on Skylar Hunter. The 0-1 pitch misses for ball 1. Excuse me, that is Dominic Clementi. And the 1-1 pitch is swung on and driven into center field. Center fielder Watson moves over a couple of steps and makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Back to the top of the order for the Gateman, the second baseman from Utah, number 50, Oliver Dunn.
Clementi, you've got a good piece of wood on that one, but right at Watson in center.
The first pitch misses low. Count 1 ball and no strikes to Oliver Dunn. The 1-0 offering off-speed pitch on the outside corner. Now the 1-1 delivery. Low and in the dirt and count 1 and 2. Excuse me, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Back on Wednesday night. Wareham did score a run in the second inning, so unfortunately, not today.
2-1 pitch outside, count 3 balls and 1 strike. And that was a low-scoring game in which Wareham ended up walking off with a 3-2 win. The Mariners threatened and finally tied the game up in the 8th inning before falling 3-2. As the 3-1 pitch is upstairs for ball 4.
That's why it's always such a big factor to score first. You put a lot of pressure on the other team to try and catch up, and that's what it felt like the whole game Harwich was doing. They were just playing catch-up.
So while Wareham has just 1 hit in this game, they also have 3 walks that have been issued by Ty Buckner. Strike to ball total isn't too shabby, though, at 26 strikes and 19 balls. It's the first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Last inning ended with a strike him out, throw him out double play with Martellini and Roscom. Martellini striking out and Roscom getting caught stealing as the 0-1 pitch is fouled off down the left field line and out of play. Oliver Dunn leads off first base, 1 out top of the third as Ty Buckner throws over to first base to check on Dunn. 1-0 Mariners lead. And the 1-2 pitch swung on and fouled that back over our press box. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes.
It's over towards the coach's parking. Let's just hope it didn't hit a coach's car. We'll be driving home very happy.
The 0-2 delivery swung on, a high fly ball to center field right at Watson, who moves back about 2 steps and makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
Number 16, the first baseman from Cal Berkeley.
And here's the big-time power hitter, Andrew Vaughn. As he kicks around some dirt in the right-hander's batter's box. Runner on first base, 2 outs in the top half of the third inning. First pitch is cut on and fouled off towards the Harwich dugout, and there's counts 0-1. And since the walk, it's 5 straight strikes from Ty Buckner. Doing a little bit of a better job controlling his pitches. The 0-1 offering. Well, that misses low. Count 1-1. 2 outs, runner on first, top of the third. Mariners lead 1-0 as the 1-1 pitch is a beautiful off-speed pitch, and Vaughn was way ahead of that one, badly fooled.
Yeah, Vaughn was going fishing for that one. I think he thought it might have been a fastball or something else, 1-1, but Buckner really mixing his pitches well, keeping these hitters off balance.
Now the 1-2 offering. In there for strike 3. Vaughn goes down looking at a pitch in the bottom part of the zone. And at the end of 2.5, it's the Mariners 1 and the Gatemen nothing. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network.
Virginia, Tanner Morris.
Welcome back in the bottom half of the third inning as the third hitter in the Harwich Mariners order, Tanner Morris, steps into the left-hander's batter's box. The pitch from Lucas is swung on and hit into left field for a base hit. So Tanner Morris is aboard with a single to lead off the bottom half of the third inning.
Morris is having himself a day tonight after driving in the lone run back in the first off the fielder's choice. Now starting things off in the bottom half of the third inning with a leadoff single. So
from the University of Tennessee, Andre.
He's doing everything right.
And the cleanup hitter Andre Lipsia stands in the right-hander's batter's box. First pitch misses low and in the dirt, count 1-0. Bottom of the third inning from White House Field, Mariners lead at 1-0. Morris stands on first. Lipsius in the right-hander's batter's box. The 1-0 offering swung on and popped up. Third baseman Roscom gives way to the shortstop Stott. And there's one away in the bottom half of the third inning.
Obviously a tougher play for Roscom, so yields to Stott as Stott has a better angle on it, so Roscom going straight back. Stott able to come around a little bit more. You see on the other side of the diamond too, would be easier play for the second baseman than the first baseman.
And Logan Driscoll steps in the left-hander's batter's box and takes ball one outside. The count 1 ball and no strikes.
As a right-hander now warms in the bullpen for the Gatemen.
1-0 delivery is swung on and popped up over towards the fence. Third baseman Roscom runs out of room. And the count 1-1. Roscom hurried over to the fence, but just a bit out of room.
Looks to be Cody Carroll maybe from Southern Miss down there.
Cody Carroll was originally slated to start this game, but is now coming on in relief. The 1-1 pitch misses low. Count 2 balls and 1 strike to the left-handed hitter, Logan Driscoll. Morris leads off first, 1 out, bottom of the third inning. Mariners on top of the Gateman 1-0. And Lucas will check on Tanner Morris over at first base as he scurries back to the bag. 1 out, bottom of the third. And I'll check on him again. This time, Morris diving back into first base.
One of those quick snap throws. He's about to go into the set and then steps off and fires over to first.
And that's the benefit of being a left-handed pitcher. You don't have to spin around as a 2-1 pitch is chopped up the middle. Second baseman steps on second, throws the first, not in time. Nice play by Dunn to field it over at second base, but not able to make the throw back to first in time.
Yeah, because he bobbled it, he may want to make sure he at least got the out at second, so he stepped on the bag. Otherwise, he might have been able to turn 2 there, if not for the bobble.
Number 34, the left fielder from Indiana, Matt Gorski.
And Matt Gorski, the 6th hitter in the Mariners order, steps in the right-hander's batter's box. He walked back in the bottom half of the second inning. First pitch is chopped foul down the third base line, count 0-1. The 0-2 offering misses inside to Gorski, count 1 ball and 1 strike. Logan Driscoll stands on first base as Gorski digs in the right-hander's batter's box. 1-1 pitch, cut on and fouled off back to the screen, count 1-2. Two outs, bottom of the third, the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, a chopper to third base, fielded by Roscom. He'll throw across the diamond for the final out. Mariners strand 1, and at the end of 3 innings of play, it's the Harwich Mariners 1 and the Wareham Gatemen nothing. We're back with the top half of the 4th inning. Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
And things back here in the top half of the 4th inning, a 1-0 Harwich lead as Ty Buckner is back on the bump. from the windup. His first pitch is skied out towards center, moving back towards the warning track. Feeling for the fence and makes the catch is Watson. As the ball just kept trilling out there, so Packard's away here with fly out into center, so 1 away.
That ball was just carrying and carrying and carrying. The ball was probably hit 395 feet as Watson was right in front of the 400 sign out in center field.
Only 400 in deep center. 330 in left field line and 330 in right as well. So it was a righty-righty matchup. Fastball in there for strike one as Parker Phillips steps in, the designated hitter tonight.
But I do think that along that line out in center field, when the fence sort of turns, it may be a little deeper than 400, maybe 405.
Yeah, it's a little, I guess, engineering and genius going on out there in left center as it's not really rounded out. It's similar to almost Eldridge Park in Orleans after the hit by pitch. So Phillips will take his way towards first. Right on the hands. So 1 man aboard here with 1 away. And the top half of the 4th inning. Mariners do hold a 1-0 lead.
Ty Buckner, the velocity between 88 and 90 tonight for the right-handed pitcher.
As Stott shows bunt as Gill charges in a little late. However, he takes ball below the knees. So Buckner in from the stretch now. Gets the sign at the belt, the 1-0. Fastball in the corner for strike one. Harwich, of course, wearing their home cream after wearing their red jerseys yesterday. Wareham in their away blue as the 1-1 is fouled off towards the left side. So Phillips off of first after the hit by pitch. Stott down though, 1-2 to Buckner. And Buckner fires, curveball in the dirt, gets away from Driscoll, so Phillips will head towards second as that will go down as a wild pitch. So no force out at second now as Phillips is on second. Here with 1 away. As Stott awaits the 2-2. The pitch. Curveball's right back to Buckner. Buckner catches Phillips in a pickle now, throws to Gill. Gill charging back and throw back to second as Phillips is out at second. So great baseball play there by Buckner to look back Phillips at second, and he is thrown out.
Great awareness there from Buckner. A lot of pitchers would just field the ball, throw right over to first base, get the easy out, but Buckner makes a smart play, looks at the lead runner, and sees that he's caught right between second and third. And makes a perfect play. Then helps with the pickle himself over at third base.
So stepping in the left side now is Luke Roscom, the third baseman. Here with 2 away, runner mound first. As fastball in the dirt as Driscoll throws down to first, but not in time. It bounced around 58 feet, and it was a great block by Driscoll, and Stott almost got caught in no man's land as his secondary was almost too far.
That was an awfully close play at first base as Lipsius came in with the tag on the hand. That was a real bang-bang play and great awareness again by Driscoll.
So the 1-0 bounces in again as it gets away from Driscoll again. So Stott heads to second now with 2 away in the top half of the 4th inning. So now a single could score a stop from second to tie up the game as the Mariners scored in the 1st inning off a fielder's choice from Tanner Morris after back-to-back hits to start the game. As Stott fouls one behind the press box here. So bat on the shoulder from Roskin, puts it up now as he waits the 2-1. He kicks and fires. That's in the dirt. And actually hit him off the foot, it looked like, somewhere around the leg area. So he'll take his base. Second hits Batman this inning. As Driscoll now will go out and talk to his right-hander.
And out comes Coach Gruenberg as well to check on Ty Buckner. And Buckner's got 3 walks and 2 hit batsmen. Only allowed 1 hit. So 6 base runners, despite the fact hasn't allowed much contact.
Similar to Carl Kaufman, the pitch from yesterday's game, YD. Won't give up 2 hits, but allowed 5 walks. That end up in Harwich scoring their lone run of the game. So 2 men on here with 2 out. Runners on first and second.
From Boston College, Ian Martinelli.
Stott on second and Roskim on first. Let's see, Buckner tries to work himself out of his jam. As first pitch is in there on the outer half for strike 1. As the catcher Martinelli steps in out of Boston College, so teammates with right fielder tonight, Chris Galland. As the 0 from Martinelli is popped out of play for strike 2. Martinelli, local New England kid out of Johnston, Rhode Island. Decided to stay in New England for his college baseball and play at Boston College. As Buckner gets the sign now and kicks, the 0-2 is fouled off again behind home plate, so we'll do things again.
And Buckner's pitch count now rises all the way up to 68 on the evening.
So he may be done after this inning, maybe again work into the 5th, but see where things go from here.
Warming up in the bullpen is Dan Poitamani.
Buckner looks back. Stott at second as that one is popped out into right center. Galland on the chase, and he'll make the grab. So that would do it for things here in the top half, the 4th inning, as the Gateman Strand men on first and second. As a 1-0 lead for the Harwich Mariners as you listen to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. And welcome back inside White House Field for the bottom half of the 4th inning. New pitcher on the mound for Wareham
is Cody Carroll out of Southern Mississippi. And Carroll normally comes out of the bullpen, and he experimented with some starts later in the season, but there was a stark differential between his appearances coming out of the bullpen and his appearances when he started. So in his 4 starts, he pitched 10 2/3 innings, allowed 7 earned runs. In his appearances in relief, 21 and 2/3 innings, allowed 1 earned run, so the differential between an ERA around 6 to an ERA of 0.4. So clearly, Carroll felt more comfortable in relief, and here he is coming on in relief in the bottom of the 4th inning.
As he makes his Cape League debut, and for those of you just joining us now, it is the bottom off the 4th inning. Mariners lead 1-0. So how we got there, a leadoff double by Thompson, and then Watson with a single, and Morris was able to drive a man in with a fielder's choice. So that is the lone run so far for the Mariners.
They have threatened quite a few times. They threatened a lot back in the 2nd inning with the bases loaded and just 1 out, but they weren't able to drive home any runners.
So now the left-hander out of Iowa, Ben Norman, steps in to face off against Carroll. Norman singled back in the 2nd. As he waits the first pitch, shows bunt. Right in front of home plate as Martinelli picks up and throw on the first, and Norman is retired for out number 1.
Not a great bunt there from Norman. Not terrible, but it was just not quite deep enough and not down the third base line enough as the catcher Martellini was able to get up and field that ball. It was probably about 5 to 10 feet in front of home plate, and Martellini was able to field it and throw over to first base.
Yeah, that's about to be shot down the first base side or the third base side, and it went right back up. Otherwise, a little more went right to the pitcher, and anything else is in Martinelli's zone. So Ray Gill steps in now from the right side as a righty-righty matchup as Gill goes swinging at a pitch downstairs for strike 1. Gill popped out in the 2nd inning. So Carroll, off-speed pitch just misses above the letters, so evens now at 1-1. The 1-1 to Gill. Misses in the dirt, so count goes to 2-1. Gill went 0 for 4 in Wednesday night's loss in Wareham. Looks to turn things around here as the 2-1 from Carroll. Curveball swung on and missed by Gill. Evens up now at 2-2.
Yeah, Gill was way out in front of that pitch. Badly fooled in the off-speed.
Gill chokes up a bit here as Carroll from the windup, the 2-2. Check swing in there anyway for strike 3. So Gill goes down on strikes for the first time tonight, and it is Carroll's first strikeout as there is quickly 2 away here in the bottom half of the 4th inning.
Number 4, the right fielder from Boston College, Chris Galland.
So it is Chris Galland now, the right fielder.
Galland reached on a single as the shortstop bobbled it, and scorekeeper gave him a base hit.
As Galland takes a check swing in the dirt, and first base umpire says he went around, so down here 0-1. Martinelli, his teammate, doing the catching tonight, might exchange a few words before he steps up as Curve almost hits him and he dances out of the way, so I guess Carroll keeping him on his toes in the batter's box.
Yeah, I don't think that the idea was to send a message to make him back off the plate a little bit. I think that curveball just got away from him.
So the 1-1 to Galland is fouled off towards the right side bleachers. As Carroll's ahead now, 1-2. So 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Nobody on. Mariners hold a slim lead, 1-0. After scoring the run back in the bottom half of the 1st inning. As the 1-2 is Galland is almost an excuse me swing as he checked it down towards the first base dugout. However, Galland steps back in now. Carroll finally gets his sign. The righty-righty. Fastball above the letters. So count goes to 2-2. Gallon trying to continue this half inning and maybe as that one almost hits him again as he turns away. Look like maybe another breaking ball coming on the inner half. So he works at full here now to 3-2. So the 3-2 to Gallon. The payoff pitch is lined. One hopped over to short, so Stott picks it up. Throw on the first is not in time. So Gallon works a 2-out single as a line shot right at Stott's feet. He fired quickly over, and Vaughn was in disbelief.
And for Stott, Chris Gallon has been his nemesis tonight. He had now 2 ground balls over to him, and both times Gallon has been able to beat out the throw.
So Martinelli goes out to talk to Carroll, maybe tell him scouting report about Gallon at first or Cam Thompson at the plate. As this will be Thompson's 3rd at-bat in 4 innings. Thompson doubled and scored back in the 1st and struck out back in the 2nd. As Thompson gets ready to battle here as he tightens his batting gloves. Takes a few practice swings and will step in to do work from the left side. So Carroll, for the first time in the stretch tonight, we're let the Gallon off as a hit and run as it goes towards the hole and come back to a diving play as Gallon heading towards third. Throw to third is not in time. So a great piece of work there as Thompson swung as Gallon was dealing second. And the second baseman, Dunn, went to cover second.
Yeah, and that's outstanding base running both by Chris Gallon and a bit of luck for Cam Thompson after he was going on the play, and the nice play by Dunn to stop the ball from going into right field. Gallon, with his outstanding speed, was able to get all the way to third base by the time that Dunn realized what was going on. His throw to third was not going to be in time.
So runners on the corners here with 2 away as the little 2-out rally comes on as Zach Watson steps in. First pitch curveball is in there for strike 1. So it would have been a great play if Dunn and was able to stop it. He had to change directions in a matter of seconds. As the 0-1 to Watson misses inside for ball 1. So Gallon off a third, Thompson off a first. So Watson takes a foot out of the batter's box, gets the sign from the third base coach, Coach Pascarosa, excuse me. As the 1-1 to Watson misses low and away for ball 2. So Watson heading down 2-1. Watson with a .286 average this season. As the 2-1 is cut on and missed. Off-speed pitch gets him there. So again, another opportunity for the Mariners to drive in a run. They'll let the bases loaded back in the 2nd inning, and that was really the last shot they had at driving another run. So this is another big opportunity for the Mariners to extend this lead as heading towards second, but it was fouled off anyway as Thompson got a jump over towards second.
It's a good move by Thompson to sort of see what the pitcher Carroll is doing. Check and see how often he looks at him and check his timing, and then after you get a feel for it, then he goes on the 5th pitch of the at-bat. Allows him to get a far better jump.
So the 2-2 to Watson. Off is Thompson again. Swung on and missed in the dirt. And down goes Watson. So that will end the rally for the Mariners in the bottom half of the 4th inning as the Mariners still lead 1-0 over the Gatemen. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. And we'll go back inside the broadcast booth from White House Field. It is a new pitcher on the mound for the Mariners. So Ty Buckner's night is done as Danny Poitamani out of Stevens Tech. Poitamani has made one appearance this year with a 6.75 ERA and 1 1/3 inning work. Gave up a run. However, did strike out 2. So Buckner's final line is 4 innings with 1 hit, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So a pretty solid outing for Buckner as it now gives the ball to the bullpen to see if they can close out this game. And it's 9-1-2 hitters that Poitamani will have to face, including the left-hander Clemente, who is leading off for the game. And so lefty-lefty matchup misses in the dirt for ball 1.
And Buckner, while it says he only allows 3 walks, he also added 2 hit batsmen to that total. But overall, a very solid outing from Buckner, allowing no earned runs, and no one even advanced past second base during those 4 innings of work.
As Clemente waves with the fastball, so the count evens to 1-1. So the 1-1 misses low and away in the dirt for ball 2 as it rolls to the backstop. As the ball boy tonight will get his exercise. So no man on, no man out here in the top half of the 5th inning. 1-0 Mariners lead. As that is fouled off towards the left side into the trees. So count heads to 2-2 now. It's the 2-2 from Poitamani. Fastball low and away, just misses. So it looked awfully good there as Driscoll did a great frame job. So count runs full. Poitamani did pitch in the Wareham loss. So his 2nd time in the Cape League and 2nd time facing Wareham as it is lined over towards 2nd. Scooped on the backhand by Thompson. Thompson off the back foot. Throw on a first is in time as Clemente is retired for the first out.
And we take a look around the Cape League as there are 3 games in progress, including this one. 2 games about to start. The 2 other games in progress. Brewster leads Bourne in the top half of the 8th inning 6-1. Also in the top half of the 8th inning, the Falmouth Commodores on top of the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox 8-0. And then games about to get going, Cotuit and Orleans. That's at Eldridge Park. And at Veterans Field, the Chatham Anglers will host the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
So first pitch fastball's in there to Oliver Dunn, the 2nd baseman. As that one is hacked over towards the bullpen down there in right field. So quickly down the hole now is Dunn at 0-2. Dunn 0 for 1 tonight as he walked back in the 3rd and struck out swinging in the 1st. This gets down to the 0-2. This is outside for ball 1. So he fell a strikeout victim to Buckner. 1 of 3 strikeouts Buckner had tonight. As the 1-2 from Poitamani as he fires. That was lofted it into right center gap. Cutting back is Galland, and Watson is in there for the catch.
Nice job by Watson tracking that ball towards the warning track. That ball was hit probably 390 feet, but he's gotten a good jump on all the balls in this game and made some nice catches on the run.
As the sun begins to play a factor now, as a bit of shadows head in. As all outfielders are wearing their sunglasses, as 2 away here from Poitamani fires a fastball in there, just misses low for ball 1. As Skylar Hunter, the center fielder, steps in. He bunted his way on for a base hit in the 1st and then flied out to center in the 3rd. Fastball runs away there, so 2-0 now to Hunter. The 2-0 as that is fouled off to the right side. Count goes to 2-1. So far the Mariners have scored 1 run on 7 hits, and Wareham's only got 1 hit tonight and have nothing to show for it. As swinging there is Hunter, swings at an off-speed pitch. Count evens now at 2-2. There's two men out, no men on. Portamani looks to get through a scoreless inning. As that was grounded over straight to Thompson to take 2 steps over his right field to throw on the first is in time. So that'll do it for the top of the 5th inning. A scoreless inning by Portamani as the Mariners still hold a 1-0 lead. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network.
The Sacred Cod Tavern at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa, a quintessential New England dining experience for lunch or dinner, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Mariners.
So in the bottom of the 5th inning,
Number 10 from the University of Virginia.
Cody Carroll's on for another inning of work after ran some trouble, but was able to work out of it. As Tanner Morris, the shortstop from the University of Virginia, steps in the left side. He takes a 2-seam fastball in there for strike 1. Morris has found some success tonight as he drove in the lone run back in the first on a fielder's choice and singled back in the third. As the 0-1 to Morris is grounded up the middle, and that will find its way into the outfield as Dunn backhanded it right as it reached the outfield grass. So Morris is on for the 3rd time tonight.
And a seeing eye single right up the middle from Morris as the second baseman Dunn started to move over, and it was right between Dunn and Stott. Neither of them could really make a play on that ball until Dunn was able to block it from going into the outfield when he was already standing on the outfield grass.
So leadoff man on again. That'll be as Lipsius takes a strike 1. Andre Lipsius, the first baseman, in. So 4 out of the 5 innings tonight, the Mariners have had a leadoff man on, and they're hoping they don't leave him on because they've already left 7 men on tonight through 4 innings plus. As Lipsius takes a swing at that one and finds its way over on the hill on the right side. So count goes to 0-2 to Lipsius. Lipsius 0 for 2 tonight, struck out on the first and popped out in the third. Looking to continue his 4-game hit streak. As the 0-2 is fouled off into the fence on the first base side. As Lipsius and Martinelli exchange a couple words. And he'll get back in for battle. He's down the hole here, 0-2. Morris off at first. Carroll gets a sign, and he deals. Chop back to Carroll. Carroll on one hop. Throw on to first is wide, and it goes into the outfield. So that goes as an error on a Carroll.
And he had all sorts of time, but the pitcher Carroll throws that ball into center field, well left of second base. And it would have gotten 1 out. I don't think they would have been able to get him at first for a double play, but would have been at least the fielder's choice. But instead, runners on first and second with still nobody out in the bottom of the 5th.
Mariners are able to strike in the 4th inning yesterday after an error, so let's see if they can cash in again as Carroll will step off the mound for a second. So Morris on second, Lipsius off of first. Here with no man out in the bottom half of the 5th inning, hold a 1-0 lead. That is Logan Driscoll, the catcher from George Mason on the left side. He grounds that one sharply over to second, flipped on to short by Stott. Stott on the first is in time. As the hometown crowd can't believe that one, but go down as a 4-6-3 double play as Morris is on third. However, there are 2 away in the inning.
I thought that Driscoll was safe at first base. It was an awfully close play. A real bang-bang play there at first, but I thought that Driscoll was able to beat it out. Nonetheless, there's a runner on third base with 2 outs.
So still an RBI situation here as Matt Gorski. He's one of the Hoosiers out of Indiana. Steps in the right side, righty-righty matchup. Gorski check swing, but it's in there anyway for strike 1. Gorski playing left field tonight. Walked in the 2nd and grounded out in the 3rd. Looking to pick up an RBI here maybe as Morris is on third. Gorski can check swings again, but it's time it's in the dirt for a ball. Count is even now at 1-1. So Carroll set and he fires. Gorski puts this one in the right side as the bullpen begins to clear, but it will drop in below the bench over there, so count moves to 1-2 now. As John LeBone will dust off home plate.
And the bullpens in the field are making some fielders' jobs quite a bit more difficult.
Quite adventurous tonight, as on both sides they've had to go over towards the bullpen and fleeing like mosquitoes out there, those guys are, as is waved on and missed, and Gorski goes down on strike. So a man left on at third. However, the Mariners still hold a 1-0 lead as you listen to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. And welcome back inside the broadcast booth in White House Field. Mariners still hold a 1-0 lead after striking back in the bottom of the 1st inning. As in the top of the 6th now, Andrew Vaughn leads things off in the Gateman. He is 0 for 1 tonight with a walk back in the 1st and struck out. Has put him on his back on the mound for another inning of work. And off-speed pitch just misses above the letters. So Vaughn, the power hitter of Cal, as a fastball bounces in for ball 2.
Poinamani had a really nice inning of work in the top half of the 5th inning, and he even had a nice inning in 3rd of work versus Wareham the first time. He was charged with a run, but I don't think that the ERA of giving him a 6.71 ERA for that appearance is quite accurate for how he did. He pitched an inning in a 3rd and then walked a batter, and the batter ended up coming around to score. But he's charged with that run. despite the fact that he pitched really quite well.
As the 2-0 is fouled off into foul territory. As he continues to pitch more, as that he's got to score another score inning that you're able to cut down now. As a 2-1 is in there at the knees for strike 2.
That's one of the ways, I guess, the ERA is not a perfect stat. And we look through all statistics in baseball, and there isn't one perfect stat. Some are better than others at judging a player's talent.
As the 2-2 is slapped way foul towards the left side. Had some speed on that one.
Of course, nowadays, batting average, a frequently criticized stat. This does not accurately depict a player's power or depict it at all.
As the 2-2 is cut on a miss. Off speed, got him. So Portimani picks up his first strikeout of the evening. Of course, he had 2 of them back in an inning and a third of work back in Wareham. As Bryant Packard now from East Carolina, the left fielder tonight. And on the left side, so lefty-lefty matchup here. With one down here. Check swing by Packard. There's a ball in the dirt. And he went around, says the home plate umpire. Packard 0 for 2 tonight, looking to get on base for the first time as he waves at a fastball upstairs for strike 2. So Packard's in the hole now, 0-2. The 0-2 to Packard. That is fouled off towards the left side again. As we have some double action going down in the Harwich bullpen. Looks to be maybe 2 right-handers.
Yeah, Christian Santana throwing lately. And I believe, although I'm having a hard time seeing that, maybe Nick Rand.
As that one is hacked towards the right side there in the bullpen. Count stays at 0-2.
I'll give you an update when I can confirm the other pitcher.
As that was actually had a lot of velocity on that one if it stayed fair. However, was moving towards wayward Fowler. So the 0-2 to Packard. Misses low and away for ball 1. So the 1-2 from Portimani. As that was popped out towards the bullpen down there. Gill will take a look. However, it finds out of the fence again. So be pitch number 7 coming up in this at-bat. Packard really spoiling pitches here. As Portimani will get the sign now from Driscoll.
And it is not Nick Rand, it is Tommy Sutera. Nick Rand number 6, Sutera 8.
As that is chopped over late towards short. Morris comes charging in, comes around it, throwing to first is in time thanks to the stretch from Andre Lipsius at first. So 2 away now in the top half of the 6th inning.
So from the bullpen, that will be Christian Santana and Tommy Sutera.
Santana, of course, pitched in the home opener against Orleans in a 3-2 win. As Portimani has 2 away here in the top half of the 6th inning. Mariners hold a 1-0 lead. They have 8 hits tonight. Wareham only able to scratch off 1. First pitch swung on the dirt as Parker Phillips goes fishing. Of course, Parker Phillips back in the 4th was hit by a pitch, but then advanced towards second, a wild pitch, and then on a fielder's choice, thrown out of third. Great play by Ty Buckner as the 0-1 misses in the dirt. So lefty-righty matchup here as Portimani fires a fastball in there, and Phillips just couldn't catch up on that one. As Portimani's ahead now, 1-2 to Phillips. Phillips 1 for 3 with a double and RBI back on Wednesday night's victory over Harwich. As that is popped over the press box here, so count stays even now at 1-2.
And still, this Wareham Gateman lineup has been held to just one hit in 5 2/3 innings. The Mariners pitching staff, for the most part, has done a fantastic job.
As the 1-2 is in there, curveball got him as it froze Phillips. So Portamante works another scoreless inning as the Mariners still hold a 1-0 lead heading into the bottom half of the 6th inning. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network.
You have not yet purchased your tickets and you'd like to take
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development online at www.curry.edu.
And welcome back inside White House Field as the Harwich Mariners now up to bat as they hold a 1-0 lead and they try to extend it here in the bottom of the 6th. As it is the outfielder from Iowa, Ben Norman, hometown of Des Moines. As he is 1 for 2 tonight with a single back in the 2nd inning. As a first pitch is fouled off the catcher's mitt. Martinelli. Norman's family has a long-standing history of athletics. His father played basketball at Iowa. As a curveball is in there for strike 2, so he goes down 0-2. His sister played basketball at Creighton. His uncle wrestled at Iowa. Another uncle played basketball at Iowa. And another one of his uncles is the former director of athletics at Iowa. So it's a family tradition there to go to Iowa and be a part of the athletic program as the 0-2 misses in the dirt. So Carroll gets set to do work again from the windup. The righty-lefty matchup now. Storman steps back in. Carroll deals. Fastball misses high. As Martinelli can't squeeze that one as they'll even up now at 2-2. So Carroll's pitched 2 scoreless so far, yielding 3 hits. However, striking out 3, so he gets the sign now. The 2-2 to Norman. As that was reached and goes foul towards the bullpen down there. Nice play by the spotter in the bullpen with the backhand. Can't quite tell who that is, but.
And Christian Santana continues to warm up on one of the mounds. The other mound is occupied by a number of players.
So they'll do it again here, the 2-2 with no one out. As that has a lazy fly ball going towards the bullpen, as taking a look. Will be Packard, but it will find the grass out there, so they'll do it again.
Nice work by Ben Norman protecting the plate. Fouled off a number of pitches in this at-bat.
Just trying to stay alive, you said before. Maybe Carroll make a mistake.
This is pitch number 7 upcoming for Norman.
So no man on, no man out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning as the Mariners try to extend their 1-0 lead. As Norman lines one sharply into right field. As the outfield grass out to Clemente, who will field it on a hop. So leadoff man on for the 5th time in 6 innings. As that is what the Mariners have been doing today. Is let's see if they can do something with it as Ray Gill, the third baseman, steps in. Back in the 8-hole tonight.
And the thing for the Mariners, 9 hits now in just 5 innings of play. Yet they have only plated 1 run. They're going to have to do a better job hitting with runners on base and hitting with runners in scoring position.
So first pitch to Gill, misses in the dirt.
A lot of teams have 9 hits and they'll have 8 or 9 runs on the board. Mariners, 9 hits and just 1 run.
So Mariners have had plenty of opportunities tonight. Here with Norman off at first, leadoff man on as Gill steps in the right side again. Norman takes his secondary as fastball just misses low and away for ball 2. So Gill trying to pick up his first hit tonight. So Carroll looks over at first at Norman, gets his side, and he fires towards home as Gill swung on and missed.
Four players for the Mariners have multiple hits. Thompson with 2, Morris with 2, Norman with 2, and Galland with 2.
As the 2-1 is in there on the outer half, so
Watson has 1 hit, and there are 4 players who are hitless so far. Lipsius, Driscoll, Gorski, and Gill, as you mentioned, are yet to have a hit on the afternoon.
So the 2-2 to Gill. Norman's running off, and Martinelli unable to hold on to that one, so Norman slides in with a pop-up slide, so stolen base for Norman as the count runs full now. So Norman off a second now as a single from Gill can score him. Norman with some speed. So the full count to Gill. Misses upstairs and Gill will take his base at first. So something brewing here with 2 men on and no out.
And no one warming up in the Wareham bullpen, as the catcher Martellini goes out to have a meeting with Carroll.
Number 4, the right fielder from
So Martinelli, the Boston College guy, talks to Carroll. And now up is another Boston College guy, Chris Gallen, the right fielder. He's 2 for 2 tonight. A big single here as he shows bunt and gets away from Martinelli. So each runner advancing 90 feet here now with second and third. Runners on second and third here with no outs. So Gallen can drive in 2 men now with a single.
And the Mariners with a golden opportunity to add a couple of insurance runs. And they've had chance after chance, have not been able to do it yet.
Especially with no outs, there are plenty of, whether it's Galland or Thompson who's on deck, or even Zach Watson who's in the hole. As the 1-0 to Gallen misses below the knees, so Gallen's ahead now, 2-0.
And we've talked about this order being a circular order, having that 9-hitter spill into the top of the order. And if you include the 9-hitter and go 9, 1, 2, 3, those hitters account for 7 of the team's 9 hits.
And that is picked up towards third and throw on towards home, and in time, as Norman is cut off. As I think it was Roscom who got him after it was in the hole. His infield was playing a little in, playing medium depth, so in between Stott and Roscom. I think Roscom might have had him.
It's a close play at home plate. And I think it was definitely the right decision to send Norman in that situation. You want to try to add a run. You have a pretty high chance that scoring the run there, but Norman is thrown out at home plate. Took a perfect throw from Roscom to get the out at home. And there now is action in the bullpen for the Wareham Gatemen, as number 37, Tyler Keyser, out of Miami, is in the bullpen.
So runners on the corners now, after Norman was cut down at the plate.
From Kansas State, Cam Thompson.
So Cam Thompson tries to pick up his third hit tonight as he doubled and scored back in the first, struck out in the second, and singled in the fourth inning. So 2 men on and 1 out. As the righty-lefty has a throw over. It's one of those fakes. As caught in the picking out between first and second is Gallons. Gallon heads back into first, and he's back in time.
Wow.
So the speedy Gallons gets his way out of the pickle.
Fantastic speed by Chris Galland. It's not perfectly executed by Wareham, but still it's the speed that results in Galland diving back in safely at first base. He's caught in the pickle, and then the explosive acceleration from Galland. 3 or 4 steps, and he's diving in there safely.
One of the fake throws, pickoff moves toward third, look towards first. He tries it again, and Galland knows better this time, and he'll stay home.
Normally the pickoff move is a quick spin. Pitcher wants to have both feet off the ground on that pickoff move and not much height, so they can move as quickly as possible, and he's trying that third to first pickoff move once again.
I mean, I usually see this in 13U baseball in the big diamond, but I've never seen it happen in college. I mean, he's tried it 3 times in a row now, so I think most people have learned their lesson out in the field as Galland got caught in it the first time. As Thompson waits the first pitch as an off-speed pitch gets in there for strike 1.
And it was also interesting seeing that Gill decided to stay put there at third base even though Galland was in the middle of the rundown. And it would have been awfully tough for Gill to sneak to home undetected, as I'm sure a lot of fielders for Wareham would have been yelling out that he was headed home. And they try it again, man. This pickoff move for Carroll seems to be his go-to.
The umpire gives a little clap there to Carroll. Just past him there as Harwich bench was yelling back as loud as they could as the 0-1 to Thompson is he can't quite get that one. So count moves to 0-2 now here with 1 down. Runners on the corners. Gill off a third, Galland off a first here.
The Mariners do not need to run themselves into any outs, so I don't foresee Galland stealing despite his very strong speed.
As a fastball misses off the plate there, so count moves to 1-2.
In center field, Hunter appears to be in a few steps, along with out and left with Packard. But in right field, Clementi back at normal depth.
Thompson taps home plate, sporting his Kansas State Wildcat purple and gray batting gloves. As pitch misses off the plate again, so a couple tough takes there for Thompson. Count evens now at 2-2. So Carroll a little bit of a jam here with runners on the corners and 1 down. Although he has 2 strikes on Thompson. He gets set and he fires. Thompson takes another ball high and away, so Thompson really making Carroll pitch here.
And a really nice job by Thompson to work this count full after he was down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Able to work his way back, and it's a big at-bat for Thompson. It's the type of at-bat you want your leadoff man to have. Will make Carroll pitch as he'll step off the rubber for a second.
And normally that runner on first is relying on that front foot and to see motion out of the front foot. If you can see motion out of the front foot, then the pitcher is supposed to go home at that point.
As Galland goes running, however, it is ball 4. So Thompson works a nice at-bat there, and will head towards first for a walk. So the bases are loaded again as they had him back loaded in the second, but unable to do anything with it. So let's see if Zach Watson can change things here.
Zach
Watson is 1 for 3 tonight as he singled in the first. Popped out in the second and struck out in the fourth. So Carroll really in a big jam here is still action in the Wareham bullpen. So the righty-righty matchup still from the stretches Carroll as he fires, as that is fouled off Watson in the batter's box. It's going to be a big inning for the Mariners here in the bottom half of the sixth inning. Only up 1-0, and even a run or two could go a long way into holding out this lead and on for the win. So
I think this is a crucial inning momentum-wise as well for the Mariners to show they can put some runs across the plate.
As Watson waves at a breaking ball in the dirt, so in the hole now 0-2. Let's see if he can work his way back as Thompson did.
And if the Mariners are unable to score here, that would be really tough in terms of their confidence of driving in runs with runners in scoring position.
So the field playing back, now holding anybody on and on the bases. As that one almost got away from Martinelli, but he moves the body and blocks it to his right side. So 1-2 now to Watson. See, Thompson's in line with the first baseman, Vaughn, and Gallen's not really being held on, so you think there could be some major movement if anything finds the gaps. As each runner has a big lead over there. So a 1-2 to Watson is cut on and missed. And down he goes on strikes for the second time tonight. As a big strikeout for Carroll. Now with two-way here, bases still loaded. It's up to Tanner Morris now. He's already driven the lone run for the Mariners tonight. He's 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a fielder's choice back in the first. After leadoff double and single by Thompson and Watson, Tanner Morris grounded into the fielder's choice. So takes the first pitch fastball outside for ball 1.
Morris, one of the team leaders in average. Few points behind Thompson. He's 4 for 14 on the season. Thompson is a little bit higher.
As the slider misses in now, count runs to 2-0.
At 5 for 13. And the updated for Tanner Morris is 6 for 17, not 4 for 14. He came in at 4 for 14.
As Morris has a hitter's count now 2-0. Big pitch from Carroll. Misses outside for ball 3.
And I think that Morris might get the red light here. Just lay off of it, make him throw a strike.
So Morris the waste of 3-0 from Carroll. Bases loaded here with 2 outs. And misses downstairs, so Carroll will walk Morris, and Gill will take his jog home. So an RBI for Morris. As the manager comes out, and looks like Carroll's night may be done here. So Morris has both RBIs for the Mariners tonight.
It's a great time to get out your 50-50 raffle tickets. We have been handed the winning numbers.
And looks like we'll have a pitching change. So Carroll is finalized 2 2/3 with 4 hits.
Well, not final yet, that is.
Well, yeah.
The runners are still bases loaded with 2 outs.
I was going to say the earned runs, but I was going to say 4 strikeouts. Add to his name.
561-179. A gift card from Newbury Street South Salon. 561.
And that's one of my problems again with ERA with 2 outs in the 6th inning. That he's responsible for the runners on base, but from what happens from here, it's completely up to the pitcher who's following him up as to whether or not he's going to get 3 earned runs added to his name or he gets no earned runs added to his name. And of course, again, he's the one who allowed those runners on base, but I'm not quite sure that accurately depicts how well a pitcher did if the next pitcher is the one who's determining the difference in 3 runs.
3-3-2-2-1-9. Congratulations.
So hold right here as pitching change is almost underway. They almost warmed up here, as it looks to be Tyler Kiesor out of Miami. Winter Garden, Florida. So teammates with Ray Gill and Gabe Rivera on this Mariners roster. Mariners hold a 2-0 lead here in the bottom half of the sixth inning. Already one run across. So take you back through this past half inning. Ben Norman able to work his way on with a single and then a walk from Gill after the stolen base from Norman. So fielder's choice by Galland got Norman out. And then a walk from Thompson to load them up. Then a strikeout from Watson, and then Morris worked a 4-pitch walk.
For the gateman from the University of Miami, number 37, Tyler Kieser.
So Tyler Kieser will take over with the Inherits. With the bases loaded here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Big RBI time for Andre Lipsius.
Don't worry.
Looks to add to the total as he has 2 RBIs this season. So Kieser will look in as Lipsius calls time for a second, readjust himself, and so Kieser is set from the stretch with 2 outs to Lipsius. And that goes off the hands there towards the Gateman dugout.
And it's important for the Mariners, even if that run is not driven in with the bat, that they add an extra run. It gives them an insurance run. They still need to prove, though, that they can drive runners in with the bat with runners in scoring position, though.
So Lipsius, fastball upstairs and in. As it brushes Lipsius off the plate a little bit. Count moves to 1-1. Lipsius almost has like an Anthony Rizzo type stance where he's really in on the inside half of the batter's box as he takes a big swing at the fastball there, but unable to catch up.
Another player like that out of Notre Dame, Nick Podkul, someone who really crouched the plate and had a lot of times when he was hit by the pitch, even a few times when he was called back to the plate.
So the 1-2 to Lipsius is cut on and miss, and Kieser works the game and out of the jam. So, however, the Mariners do scratch a run thanks to the 4-pitch walk to Tanner Morris, as the Mariners now lead after 6, 2-0. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network.
Back in the top half of the 7th inning as the Harwich Mariners lead the Wareham Gatemen 2-0. Back on the mound is Dan Poitamani. Poitamani has pitched quite well over the past couple of innings. And Stott stands in the left-hander's batter's box, takes it outside for ball 1. The 1-0 delivery to Stott misses upstairs, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Stott 0 for 2 on the day. That's a pretty common thread throughout this Wareham order. 0-4s. There's just 1 hit for the Wareham Gatemen tonight. 2-0 pitch. Ooh, clips the inside corner for strike 1.
And that was a infield bunt by Skylar Hunter back in the 1st inning.
2-1 delivery. Swung on and fouled off. Out of play. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Poitamani's control so far has been quite good. 25 strikes, just 12 balls. Pitched 2 innings. Allowed no hits, no walks. As the 2-2 pitch misses outside, and the count goes full at 3-2. Has 2 strikeouts up to this point. Poitamani gets a sign from Driscoll. Payoff pitch. Fouled off back to the screen, and the count 3-2. The payoff pitch. Fouled off and out of play once more as Stott is working Poitamani. Here comes pitch number 7 of the at-bat. This is low and in the dirt, and that'll be ball 4 as Stott draws a walk.
Number 14, the third baseman from Nebraska, Luke Roscom.
And here comes Luke Roscom. Playing third base tonight. He's been quite busy over towards the bullpen as head coach Steve Englert walks out to the mound. And no motion yet, but let's see if he's going to go to the bullpen. As the entire infield is in, and he makes the call over to the bullpen. And coming into the game for the Harwich Mariners, once we get a good look, we'll let you know.
It's Christian Santana, I believe.
Looks like it may be number 16. Confirm that in a moment. And it is. It's Christian Santana who will be entering the game for the Harwich Mariners. There's no outs and a runner on first base for Wareham. Will step aside and be back once he's finished warming up. Back in the top half of the 7th inning after the pitching change is Christian Santana stands on the mound. Out of Florida International, had a 5.79 ERA there, but since arriving on the Cape, he's thrown 2 innings of work, struck out 3 batters. And the first pitch to Roscom misses upstairs, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Roscom was hit by a pitch back in the 4th inning and walked in the 2nd as the 1-0 offering misses just a bit upstairs and outside. Count 2 balls and no strikes. Mariners lead the Wareham Gatemen 2-0 in the top of the 7th. As a 2-0 pitch misses, and Christian Santana has a hard time finding the strike zone in his first 3 pitches. Sotero was up and working earlier, but no one else as a 3-0 misses outside. And all of a sudden, it's a 4-pitch walk for Luke Roscom, and their runners on first and second with nobody out in the top of the 7th.
Number 9.
So back-to-back walks issued by this Harwich Mariners pitching staff. And it looks like Christian Santana stands off the mound as they're waiting for a new batter, as Wareham's going to have a pinch hitter in place of Guion Martinellini. And it's number 10, Isaac Collins, out of Creighton. He had 266 at Creighton this past season, and also added 2 home runs. On-base percentage of .381, but none of that matters if the Harwich Mariners pitching staff can't throw some strikes. And the first one is right at the bunted bat, although he tried to pull it back of Isaac Collins, and it goes foul down the third base line. Trying to flinch out of the way, but it hits his bat nonetheless. Count, no balls and 1 strike. Over at first base, Lipsius far in on the grass. At third base, Gill just barely in on the infield grass.
Interesting as Collins is a second baseman, so they'll have to do a defensive switch later after the inning.
0-1 pitch. And let's see, they're going to call, looks like he's bunted, but it may have hit him.
Yeah, I think he hit off his left arm there.
That goes down as a strike, but a dead ball. So the runners are headed back to first and second, so now no balls and 2 strikes with no outs. Santana back to the rubber. Runners on first and second, no out, top of the 7th. 2-0 Mariners lead. Oh, 2 pitch to Collins, misses inside. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Santana gets a sign from the catcher Driscoll. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and popped up. Driscoll looks at it, and it's going to go out of play behind home plate.
Yeah, we've seen before that Driscoll going searching for a foul ball will literally sacrifice the body if it means diving into the fence just to make an out. It's always more comforting if you're a pitcher on the mound knowing that guys want to lay out and risk the body just to make a catch.
The 1-2 pitch to Collins, swung on and chopped right over to second. Thompson to short for 1, back on to first. Double play. They go 4-6-3, and they're 2 outs in the top of the 7th.
That's a big double play there now with only a runner on third. They got 2 outs, so they're a strikeout or an out away from getting out of this inning.
So a runner on third now with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. And it's the 9-hitter, Dominic Clementi. So Isaac Collins pinch hits with runners on first and second. He does not exactly get the job done as he grounds into a double play. The first pitch misses for ball 1 on Dominic Clementi. 1-0 pitch in there for strike 1. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner on third, 2 outs, top of the 7th. Mariners on top, 2-0. 1-1 pitch on the outside corner for strike 2.
He's living off the outer half of the plate right now to both hitters he's been against. Really making a living out there, throwing those backdoor slider and curveballs.
1-2 offering, chopped right back to the mound. Santana will jog it 3/4 of the way to first, flip to first for the final out. So Wareham threatens but can't cash in for their first run of the game. At the end of 6.5, we have the 7th inning stretch as the Mariners lead 2-0. Welcome back in the bottom half of the 7th inning as the Harwich Mariners are on top of the Wareham Geatmen 2-0. As Logan Driscoll digs into the left-hander's batter's box. First pitch misses well upstairs for ball 1. One-0 pitch is a check swing, but it's popped up down the third base line, headed towards the Harwich dugout. It's going to get out of play. Giving chase was the third baseman, Roscoe. Driscoll steps back into the left-hander's batter's box. Mariners on top 2-0 in the bottom half of the 7th. 1-1 pitch is fouled back over the press box. Count 1-2. Temperature is starting to fall a bit in Harwich.
Sun begins to set there.
You've gone
right
with
field.
the sweatshirt.
The baseball pullover, yes, I have. Quarter sleeve action.
I'm staying with just the collared shirt here. 1-2 pitch upstairs, count even at 2-2. Not too cold yet. It'll get there eventually. As Driscoll stands in the left-hander's batter's box. 2-2 pitch, swung on and lifted in towards left field down the line, back to the track, and this one is going to go foul at the last second. Looked like I had a shot for some time, but eventually tails foul.
Yeah, Driscoll left-hander, so was always slicing down the line, and unfortunately just maybe just half a second off from maybe being out of here.
2-2 pitch, cut on and miss, struck him out as Driscoll goes down on strikes. And there's one away in the bottom of the 7th.
So
Number 34, the left fielder from
there's
Indiana,
back-to-back strikeouts now
Gorski.
since entering the game for the Gatemen is Keysore.
And Gorski stands in the right-hander's batter's box. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner as Gorski shakes his head at home plate umpire John LeBone, and I thought that pitch may have missed a little outside, but he gets the benefit, but the pitcher gets the benefit of the doubt, pitcher Kiesor, as the pitch is fouled off by Gorski and count no balls and 2 strikes. Base path's empty, 1 out, bottom of the 7th, 2-0 Mariners lead. And a pitch on the outside corner for strike 3 as Gorski goes down looking, and they're 2 away in the bottom half of the 7th.
Number 19, the designated hitter from Iowa, Ben Norman.
And in steps Ben Norman.
It's almost a repeat of Tristan Baker last night for the Red Sox. Really mixing his pitches well and just confusing these Mariners hitters.
Norman already 2 for 3 on the evening, looking to improve that further as the first pitch clips the inside part of the zone for strike 1.
Kiesor has now struck out 3 guys in a row and looking to strike out the side here in the bottom half of the 7th.
And the catcher Amdidis, who just came into the game, has a meeting with Kiesor. He trots back behind home plate. Count no balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th inning. Mariners on top 2-0. Norman stands in the left-hander's batter's box. 0-1 delivery misses outside. Count even at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch swung on, a line drive over to short, and a fantastic catch by Stott. Very similar play to last night when the shortstop Waddell robbed the Mariners of a base hit. So after 7 innings of play, it is the Harwich Mariners 2 and the Wareham Gatemen nothing. We head to the top of the 8th. Be back after this. Welcome back in the top half of the 8th inning. Mariners on top of the Gatemen 2-0. And the Wareham Gatemen hitters have quite an interesting scoreline this evening, Thomas.
Yeah, they've reached, even though they've only recorded 1 hit out of the scoreboard in right center, they've been on many times and have had quite a few amount of chances, thanks to in part a couple of walks on their way on, a couple of high pitches as well. 5 walks tonight for Harwich pitchers.
And the first pitch to the leadoff man in the order, Oliver Dunn, is on the outside corner for strike 1. Oliver Dunn did not appreciate that call from home plate umpire John LeBone. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and chopped over to second base, fielded by Thompson. Will toss on to first for the first out of the inning. And now the 2-hitter, Skylar Hunter. Hunter is the only man in this Wareham lineup who has recorded a hit, and you know, despite the fact he recorded a hit, it was just a bunt single down the third baseline. Didn't even go past the pitcher's mound as the first pitch misses outside for ball 1.
An overall good performance from the Mariners to record a combined 1 hitter.
And we'll make it a 2-hitter as Skylar Hunter lines the second pitch into center field. It's the first real hit for these Wareham hitters. And think about if that bunt goes foul. I sort of wonder where the Harwich Mariners pitchers are at this point. You know, how far at that point does the starter Buckner go, and does Poitamani come in afterwards? And a whole lot of different questions if the bunt went foul. Nonetheless, there are 2 hits now in the top half of the 8th inning with a runner on first as the first pitch misses low to the big, powerful Andrew Vaughn. The 1-0 pitch, and that one just misses. It looked like a strike from up here, but it counted as 2 balls and no strikes. Runner on first, 1 out, top of the 8th inning. Mariners on top, 2-0. 2-0 pitch, that one's in there for a strike. Vaughn waves the bat in a circular motion in the right-hander's batter's box. 2-1 pitch, swung on and popped up into shallow right field. Second baseman Thompson drifts back a couple of steps and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So 2 down in the top half of the 8th inning, runner on first base.
That's a big out from Santana on the rest of this Mariners team. I mean, Andrew Vaughn with 1 swing of the bat could have tied this game, and now he's retired. However, danger's still looming with Brian Packard and Parker Phillips 2 up, but we'll see if Santana can retire.
Up until this point, I don't want to say anything about what's going to happen later, but until this point, Vaughn, Packard, and Phillips are 0 for 8 in this game with 1 walk combined. That's the first pitch to Packard on the outside corner.
We got a left hand in the Harwich bullpen. I'm more than guessing that might be their closer, Andrew Miziazik, out of Northeastern.
0-1 pitch, misses low in the dirt. Count 1 ball and 1 strike.
Miziazik, if that is him, he hasn't pitched since the Orleans game in the home opener, earning the save.
Santana served in the setup role in that game as well. 2 outs, runner on first, 1-1 pitch. Swung on and driven in the hole between past this diving glove of the second baseman Thompson. And now runners on first and second with 2 outs in the top half of the 8th inning. And that is, in fact, Andrew Miziazik. There's a pinch hitter now for the Wareham Gatemen. And it is number 13, Andrew Millis. Millis played back in the first game between these 2 teams, back in Wareham. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. First pitch is swung on and missed at a pitch in the dirt. Count no balls and 1 strike. Interesting decision to pinch hit for Parker Phillips. Phillips, a guy who hit 19 home runs at Austin Peay. Number 7 in the country in that category. And his average was .315. 0-1 pitch, swung on and chopped to short. Fielded by Morris, he can't hang on to it. And now there's going to be a bases loaded with 2 outs, and it's an error against Morris over at shortstop. He moved over, positioned himself well, but he couldn't field the ground ball.
He might have rushed it there with
Number 4,
Packard quickly approaching second base, and all he needed to do was either flip it to Thompson or just step on the bag, but just couldn't get it out.
Christian Santana, this helps his ERA at least. No runs will go down against him, but no earned at least, but still the Mariners as a team are liable for 3 runners on base for 3 Wareham runners. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch to Stott. In there for strike 1. Bryson Stott taps home plate. 2 outs. Top of the 8th inning, Mariners on top 2-0. 1-1 offering is outside. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. You also have to wonder about the leash that Christian Santana has as Misiazic continues to warm up in the Harwich Mariners bullpen. 2-1 pitch. That's outside as well. The count 3 balls and 1 strike from Christian Santana. Bases are loaded. A walk here would drive in a run.
Especially with Postgame on deck, who's a left-hander, so we want to go lefty matchup here.
3-1 delivery. Swung on and popped up foul out of play. And the count goes full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Crucial pitch in this game. Stott steps back into the left-hander's batter's box. 2 outs, bases loaded. 2-0 Mariners lead in the top of the 8th. Payoff pitch. Swung on and chopped over to second. Fielded by Thompson. He'll toss on to first, and that'll do it for the top of the 8th. Wareham threatens, but cannot play to run, and at the end of 7.5, it's the Mariners 2 and the Gatemen nothing. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. Welcome back into White House Field as the Harwich Mariners lead the Wareham Gatemen 2-0 in the bottom half of the 8th inning as Ray Gill steps into the right-hander's batter's box. A very interesting situation. We have a bunch of Miami kids as the first pitch miss is in there for strike 1. Ray Gill from Miami, the catcher Amdidis from Miami, and the pitcher Kizor from Miami. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and chopped foul on the third base line. Count no balls and 2 strikes. Gill taps home plate. Looks his college teammate in the eyes.
They might know a little bit more about each other, their weaknesses and their strengths.
0-2 pitch misses upstairs. That's right. They probably have a scouting report. They know it quite well on these pitchers.
And the pitcher and catcher might have a little better chemistry, having worked for prior stints before, a longer time.
The 1-2 delivery. Swung on and fouled out of play.
I think that might be another decision that Wareham, when they made that decision to pinch hit, maybe thinking, Keystore's on the mound, we might want to get our backstop out there to help him out.
And Amdidis came in as a defensive substitution because Isaac Collins was the one who pinch hit for Parker Phillips. 1-2 delivery, misses inside, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes on Ray Gill. Ray Gill 0 for 2 on the day. 2-2 pitch, cut on and missed. He goes down on strikes on a high fastball. And Ray Gill has struggled with that pitch over the past couple of games. And there's one away in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And Chris Gallant steps into the right-hander's batter's box. 1 out, bottom of the 8th inning. Mariners on top 2-0.
You struck out 4 of the 6 hitters he's faced.
He shows bunt, pulls back, but it's in there for strike one nonetheless.
Especially with the third baseman playing back. Gallen might think again about bunting, but
0-1 pitch. That's on the outside corner as well. On the count, no balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. Gallen standing in the right-hander's batter's box. 2 for 3 on the night. 0-2 offering. That one just missed outside, awfully close.
Seeing Gallen, a couple games now, it seems like he really has a general sense of the strike zone. He knows when to take, and
the 1-2 pitch fouled off out of play.
seen him take a lot of close takes. Him and Cam Thompson, man, that's what you get with a leadoff guy, able to work the count, know your limit.
1 out, bottom of the 8th inning. Mariners on top of the Wareham Gateman, 2-0. The 1-2 offering from Kezor. Swung on, a high pop-up into shallow right field. On the run, and not able to get there is Clemente. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitter. And Gallen does a really nice job of creating hits out of things that are normally groundouts due to his extreme speed. Beat out 2 plays in the infield already. Those are his 2 base hits. The 1-2 pitch swung on, a high pop-up. Third baseman Roscom tracking it, gets under it, and makes the catch and foul ground for the second out of the inning. So 2 away in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Back to the leadoff man, Cam Thompson. Mariners with 9 hits on the night. 2 from Thompson, 2 from Gallen, 1 from Watson, and 2 from Morris. Those are the 9, 1, 2, and 3 guys in this Harwich Mariners order. And the first pitch misses upstairs from Kezor. The count 1 ball and no strikes in the left-handed hitter. Thompson digs back into the left-hander's batter's box. 1-0 pitch misses inside, and the count 2-0. The 2-0 delivery upstairs and inside, and the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. The 3-0 pitch, automatic strike, as Thompson was taking all the way, and the count 3-1. Base path's empty, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Mariners lead the Gatemen 2-0. 3-1 pitch is an off-speed pitch low and out of the zone that swung on and missed from Thompson. And the count goes full at 3-2. Payoff pitch upstairs for ball 4. And Thompson draws a walk in the bottom of the 8th. So the Mariners have a base runner as Zach Watson.
Looking to buy some insurance run here, up 2-0. Maybe pad that lead a little bit, add a little cushion.
Wouldn't be stunned to see Thompson try to steal with 2 outs, put himself in scoring position. First pitch to Zach Watson in there for a strike. $16 stolen bases for Thompson this past season at Kansas State. Throwing over to first. Check on Thompson is Kezar. The 0-1 pitch. And that one's on the outer half of the plate for strike 2. Watson digs back into the right-hander's batter's box. Thompson stands on first base. 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th inning. 0-2 delivery. Swung on and missed. Struck him out as Watson goes down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight. So, after 8 innings of play, it's the Harwich Mariners 2 and the Wareham Gatemen nothing. We head to the top of the 9th. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network.
And welcome back inside White House Field. Top of the 9th, about to begin underway as a new pitcher on the mound is Andrew Miziazik out of Northeastern, hometown of Oceanside, New York. He pitched in the home opener, recorded the save in the 3-2 win over the Orleans Firebirds. Pitched an inning, only yielded 1 hit with a strikeout. So he's called on again by Coach Engler to pick up the 3-out save.
29 relief appearances this past season at Northeastern as well. He's got good control, only 13 walks in 56 innings for Northeastern. There's a pinch hitter for the Wareham Gatemen. And number 12, Austin Shenton. That's the pinch hitter. And the first pitch in there for strike 1.
One of the better hitters on this Gateman team. He's an average leader in the Cape League, one of the top 6 in average.
0-1 pitch swung on and a blooper into right center field for a base hit. So Austin Shenton leads off the top of the 9th with a hit. Runner on first, nobody out. Mariners on top of the Wareham Gatemen 2-0. And Amdidis about to step into the right-hander's batter's box. There's a pinch runner on first base as well for the Wareham Gatemen. First pitch is swung on and missed at a breaking ball down low.
So with Shenton on, still some signs of life for Wareham with no down.
The 0-1 pitch is swung on, a high fly ball to right center field. Center fielder Watson calls off Galland for the first out of the inning.
And that's a big out because if he was able to get on, that would have caused some really havoc for Miziazik and the rest of this Mariners team.
So 1 out, top of the 9th inning. 9-hitter Dominic Clementi steps into the left-hander's batter's box. Mariners up 2-0. Top of the 9th. Runner on first base, 1 out. First pitch in there for strike 1 in the lower part of the zone. And that's a pitch that John LeBone has been giving all night. May look a little bit below the knees once it's caught by the catcher, but when it's crossing home plate, it does clip the bottom part of the zone. The 0-1 pitch misses inside, count 1-1. Clemente waves his bat in a circular motion. The 1-1 pitch in the lower part of the zone once more, and the count 1-2 strikes. Runner on first, 1 out. Top of the 9th inning, Mariners on top 2-0. One-two pitch, and a defensive swing as it was coming up towards his head, but he goes around, and the count, and that will be, a strikeout. And they're 2 away in the top half of the 9th inning. Clearly not an intentional swing from Clemente, but he goes around nonetheless. And all of a sudden, the Wareham Gatemen are down to their final out.
Yeah, that's always a tough way to go down swinging. You're just trying to protect yourself, and the bat ends up going around. But it goes down the scorebook as a strikeout swinging, so.
And the first pitch to the leadoff hitter, Oliver Dunn, on the inside corner from strike 1, and he doesn't like it as he looks back at John LeBone.
Could be also frustration for Dunn tonight. He's 0 for 3 with a walk, so.
The 0-1 pitch swung on and chopped over to second, fielded by Thompson. He'll throw to first, and that'll do it. The Harwich Mariners shut out this high-powered Wareham Gatemen lineup and win it by a score of 2-0. Thomas, the Mariners got hits. They struggled with runners in scoring position, but none of it mattered because the Harwich Mariners pitching staff was outstanding tonight.
Yeah, outstanding is the exact word you need to use because, I mean, a collective effort throughout the bullpen from Buckner to Poitamani to Santana and Miziasic to close out the game. I mean, they were just flat out unhittable. I mean, anything the Gatemen try to do, pinch hitters, they try to put guys in motion. They tried everything, and they still couldn't scratch run across. I mean, I think if you're Coach Engler, you got to give your bullpen a pat on the back, and especially the offense. The bats did wake up. You only scored 2 runs. I mean, you got to work, runners in score position. That will solve itself in the future when guys just step up to the plate and just get some hits. But, I mean, overall, I think it was a solid game, and I think they deserve this win.
Yeah, it was a big and gutsy performance by this pitching staff for the Harwich Mariners. And the Mariners will play a doubleheader tomorrow afternoon in Falmouth. First game at 3 p.m. And we'll see you on the call then as we say so long from White House Field as the Harwich Mariners snap their 3-game losing streak and pick up a big 2-0 win. So from Austin Rooney and my broadcasting partner Thomas Inzarella, we say so long.